This is an NBC News special report. Here's Hoda Kotb.
Good morning. Good to see you. You are coming on the air right now with breaking news. A massive global technical outage tied to Crowdstrike, which is a major cybersecurity provider, has knocked critical computer infrastructure offline all across the country and, in fact, all around the world. It's an issue with a software update. It's impacting lots and lots of Microsoft computer systems worldwide, from businesses to emergency services, 911, traffic lights, transit systems, and it's having a major impact on airlines as well. American, Delta, United, they're all keeping their flights grounded. You're looking at some live scenes from the airport. It is chaos again, 6 a.m. on the East Coast, and this is the scene now. They're having difficulty even printing any kind of boarding passes. This, of course, is a developing situation. The full scope of this problem remains to be seen. And Brian, as we get started right here in Studio 1A, we should point out computers at NBC News right here as we're getting on the air. We're trying to do some workarounds here to get on the air, but this is something that's affecting people worldwide. Yeah, and other newsrooms, our partners over at Sky News, having issues as well. I mean, this is impacting all different types of businesses. When you talk about airlines, you also talk about, just 911 services, in some cases reporting outages as well. And you're even hearing of anecdotes of banks in other countries experiencing that. We don't yet have reporting of banks in the United States being impacted by this, but this appears to be not just in the United States, worldwide, and across different types of industries. This definitely speaks to what I feel like is the fragility of the situation. Right. It's like this is not a cyber attack. This is a computer kind of snafu that happened. Yeah, and just to kind of walk you through exactly what's going on here. So this appears to be an issue between Crowdstrike and Microsoft. So Crowdstrike, for those that aren't familiar, is a cybersecurity firm that basically provides businesses with a way to foolproof their systems from being hacked. Now, apparently what happened was that Crowdstrike was working on some sort of update. We just heard from the CEO in the last few minutes describing this as not a security incident or cyber attacks. So I don't repeat that again. It doesn't appear to be a cyber attack at issue here. But the reason why Crowdstrike is so instrumental to not just businesses here in the United States, but around the world, is because any sort of business that hires Crowdstrike to basically foolproof their systems, well, they're going to be incorporating that into their computers. So if they get that, it's being plugged into Microsoft computers. If there's an issue with Crowdstrike, it takes down all of those Microsoft computers that are related to that. The company's saying Mac and Linux computers are not impacted, but again, this is very widespread. That's interesting, because I think what happened was a lot of people, this was happening in Australia, Europe, while we were all sleeping. We woke up and we were like, what's going on? But what people are finding is they're getting on their computers or at the bank or at the airline, and they're seeing just a blue screen. Is that what's going on? Yeah, well, the term for this is called the blue screen of death. And I don't know if we have examples that we can show on the screen right now, but we've been seeing it even in our newsrooms this morning. So it's basically this blue screen that has this prompt that says, you know, you're having issues, and they're basically trying to figure out a workaround, but that essentially bricks your computer. You are unable to log in. Now, that's scary for any person that's just trying to log into their personal computer, although it's not clear if your personal computer has Crowdstrike. If it doesn't have that plugin or have that cybersecurity layer, you likely won't be affected because of the nature of what we understand this issue to be. But for all these enterprise companies, which is translation for corporate customers that use this protection, well, that's a major issue. If you can't log in, you can't print out the boarding passes to get people on their planes. You can't, as a bank teller, even get fired up to help open up someone's deposit account. This is a major issue. Crowdstrike says that they have an issue. They identified the issue, they isolated it, and there's a fix that has been deployed. How long that fix takes to basically patch over all this, we don't know, as it seems like anecdotes of these issues and outages are still out there. And when you're thinking about it, like 911, all of these things, hospitals, like time of the essence when it comes to this. But you did bring up the airlines, and a lot of folks, I have a good friend who's on the way to the airport who's texting me saying, what's going on with all these flights? This is the scene at the airport, and we have NBC's Antonia Hilton. She joins us now. I think she is at Newark Airport. Antonia, what's the scene there?
Good morning. Well, passengers are arriving here to Newark to chaos, long lines, and intense frustrations. The kiosks are down, the computers are down, the boards where travelers typically go to find out what's going on with their delays and their cancellations, they're not updating properly. They're showing just a couple cancellations and delays, and passengers tell me that it's not reflective of what the staff tell them is actually happening. So we have tons of people who have been lining up, in some cases for hours, trying to get more information about their flights. And at times they've even gotten into fights with the staff here because they say This airline behind me here, Spirit, hasn't done enough to keep customers in the loop. They say they haven't received text messages, no updates through the app, that Spirit hasn't even yet posted a statement on their social media accounts like Twitter, the usual platforms that passengers would turn to in a moment like this. And so the emotions have, in some cases, really spilled over here. And some families have essentially just ditched the line. They're now moving aside, in some cases leaving the airport, convinced they might not get to leave on their flights at all today. What we know nationally right now, according to FlightAware, is that we have more than 500 cancellations and over 700 delays. If things don't start looking up soon, the guess from most of the people here at Newark, at least today, is that that could get worse, guys.
All right, Antonia, thank you. I think if you have your eye on what's going on in Europe, you kind of see what's going to be coming here as the sun rises.
Yeah.
We saw the chaos in airports there. We're seeing it here. We see the situation with banks in Europe, and we're starting to figure out what that will look like here in this country as people wake up.
Yeah, and again, I think it depends on how quickly CrowdStrike can address this issue, which, as their statement says, they're trying to deploy this fix. How quickly they can do that, we don't know. One thing I want to emphasize is that we've seen 911 issues in New Hampshire. They've been reporting that. Whether or not it's tied to this remains to be seen. But for those that are unable to access 911, do not try to call 911 to test it. Try to figure out other avenues, maybe try a different carrier, different type of phone to access them if you are in an emergency. Because, yes, we're talking about people trying to get to flights, but there are many serious emergency issues that, as well, that could be impacted by this. Just make sure that you're trying to try other avenues.
And quickly, again, they're saying this is a technical issue and not any kind of cyber
This
attack.
is not a security incident or cyber attack. That, according to George Kurtz, the CEO of CrowdStrike on X.
All right, let's see what happens. This day is going to unfold. Again, thank you so much, Brian. We appreciate it. This concludes our NBC News special report. We'll have a lot more on our streaming network, NBC News Now, and at NBCnews.com. And, of course, throughout the morning on Today. I'm Hoda Kotb. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in a bit.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.
Network that is running on a Microsoft network looks like they are experiencing some sort of problem right now. CrowdStrike issues is what is happening here tonight. I'm just being told in my ear. So this is a large network problem. We're told our stations through the Disney ABC group in San Francisco, in Fresno, are having similar problems, as well as stations here in Los Angeles. We have dealt with issues like this before, or similar outcomes. We had a bomb threat about a decade ago, and we were forced to pull operations out of this building and go onto the lawn across the street. We've had problems where our system wouldn't run any tapes, and that is a similar problem to what we're experiencing right now. But this is just tap dance to try and get you as much information as we can while dealing with the limitations that we are experiencing here, Mark. And you've been here a long time. I'm guessing you've never seen anything quite like what we're seeing right now.
Never seen anything quite like this, and it's an indicator, really, of how much technology has taken over not only this business, obviously, but so many others. And in this particular business, television, a lot of things that used to be done by human beings are now done by computers and software, and it's great when it works, not so great when it doesn't. We've never had a system, the entire system, fail in this way. We've been able, we've had all kinds of computer problems. Everybody does at times in whatever business you're in, but it's never been as wholesale as this, where literally nothing works. Editing, printing scripts, getting stories on the air, even to be able to research and look up information. We are unable to do that at this point, but it is important that we bring you the news of the day, and that's why we're on the air right now, because we are required to do that. That is our mission, and we're going to do our best to carry out that mission for the people of Southern California and beyond. Eyewitness News will continue right after this break.
Microsoft users across the world are facing major disruptions as the global outage has affected several systems in offices, major airlines, stock exchanges, and more. Microsoft Office users are facing blue screen of death issue. The screen says that your PC ran into a problem and needs to restart. We are collecting some info, then we will restart for you. Now, this screen typically shows up when the system crashes due to severe issue that prevents it from working safely. When it happens, system restarts and unsaved data might get lost. Many users took to X to report the issue, and many companies are also facing major operation disruptions. So which of these companies and services have been impacted? Let's understand. First, global airlines. Airlines across the world faced major disruption owing to the outage, resulting to delays and cancellation in flights. Indian airlines like Air India, Indigo, SpiceJet and Akasa reported facing disruptions. The Indian Aviation Ministry has asked airlines to inform passengers about the delays and cancellations caused due to the outage via text messages. Several US airlines have also reported disruptions in services. Many major US airlines had grounded flights at a point, citing communication issues. Second, cloud services. Cloud services have been hit by the outage, particularly Azure, Amazon Web Services. Third is banking and retail services. These are also impacted. Payment system failures leading to long queues at retail outlets have been seen. ATMs are also affected due to the outage, and banks are also being affected. Fourth is stock exchanges, which are hit due to the outage. Services at the London Stock Exchange were affected. Several brokerage firms like Nuvama, Edelweiss and Motilal Oswal also reported issues. 5. News services. Outage has also hit news services across the globe. Major television channels were not able to broadcast. Australia was one of the first countries to report the issue. In the US, even 911 emergency services were disrupted. Healthcare services were also majorly impacted. Now, what is this issue exactly and what Microsoft is doing to solve it? Services impacted include Microsoft 365 Admin Center, Microsoft Teams, Microsoft Fabric, Microsoft Purview, Power BI, Viva Exchange and more. As per reports, the crash has been caused due to a recent Crowdstrike update. Now, Crowdstrike is a cybersecurity platform that provides security solutions to businesses and individuals. Microsoft said that the outage was caused by a configuration update in a portion of its backend workload. Then it was reported that a buggy update was caused by CrowdStrike's Falcon sensor malfunction and the conflict with Windows system. CrowdStrike has acknowledged the issue and is now in the process of rolling back the update globally. So computers with CrowdStrike cybersecurity applications are stuck with blue screen of death issue, and the firm has offered a workaround to fix the PCs affected by the latest update. Here is the fix shared on Reddit. Now, Microsoft has also acknowledged the issue and has said that it is committed to resolve it as soon as possible. For more such news and views, keep watching ET Now.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.
Embrace a life of freedom with our ebook, 100 Online Jobs to Start Before Moving Abroad. It's called The Global Gig. Discover a world of opportunities and learn how to earn a steady income while living in Africa or while living anywhere in the world. Visit our website now, today, and get your copy and start your journey towards a fulfilling, location-independent lifestyle. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. If you're not a subscriber, click the subscribe button so that way you could be notified of our upcoming videos.